A lot of what happened at the Bitcoin conference were the comments by politicians. I think it's significant. I agree with Michael Saylor that 2024 is the year that the political field as well as the industry woke up to Bitcoin, and they're taking it serious. It's an election year. Bitcoin is very serious. And I think we're seeing a big shift. We have the Democratic Party, which is basically the anti-crypto party at this point. It's really found themselves on the wrong side of this issue. 20% of Americans own cryptocurrency. When you look at the article that some of the Democrats wrote to the DNC, so this is a big chunk of the electorate, and they all own crypto. And surveys show that 20% of voters believe that this is a major issue because of the Elizabeth Warren side of the Democratic Party has been so anti-crypto. Now we've seen that the Kamala Harris, who is the possibly a presidential candidate, first of all, she came out and said, I'll speak at the crypto conference. We thought, this is great. The Democrats are going to come talk. But then she canceled from it. And now we're seeing articles that they're trying to reposition Kamala Harris to be more pro-crypto. But there's a video out there where she attributes Bitcoin to being a money laundering tool. So, they have a very mixed message, confused message. I think the Democratic Party is in disarray on this topic. Don't know why they were so anti-crypto to begin with, but now they found themselves on the wrong side of the electorate. And just to start saying new policies, I think the crypto people have been burned too heavily by Elizabeth Warren, by Gary Gensler, for the crypto people just to take new words from the Democrats and believe them. So I think they've got a very, very tough battle to prove. They need to put their money where their mouth is and actually make legislation and be positive towards pro-crypto legislation if, crypto voters are ever going to believe the Democrats. I think at the Bitcoin conference, the most significant political event was Cynthia Lummis's proposal to submit a bill to Congress for creating Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Now, there are a number of strategic reserve assets. We have, of course, gold. We also have petroleum. And these basically constitute the assets, if you will, of the United States. So in a sense, if the money is printed, if fiat money printed is based on the value of the assets of the issuer, the United States, so what they're really looking to do is to build up that asset value so that before the U.S. was on a gold standard, and that was powerful to give legitimacy to the currency. But when Nixon got off the gold standard in 1971, we've had significant inflation, and to put a significant amount of Bitcoin into that strategic reserve could go a long ways to shoring up the U.S. as the most stable currency in the world, something that's been slipping quite heavily in the past year. So that's, I think that was the most significant thing. Now, this bill has not been submitted yet. She's waiting for additional sponsors before it's actually submitted to Congress. And, oh, by the way, we're at the end of legislative year, so really this bill won't have any import until next year after the elections, but the intent is significant. Not only is she setting up a Bitcoin strategic reserve, she said there has to be a commitment to distributed wallets, which is kind of recognizing the security of that. Secondly, she wants to set up a 1 million Bitcoin purchase program. She wants to buy 1 million Bitcoin. 1 million Bitcoin, it represents 5% of all the available Bitcoin that there will ever be out of the 21 million. So she's looking to take on a significant percentage, and she hopes that the size of the Bitcoin assets will mirror the size of gold. Of course, over time, that might significantly dwarf the value of gold, but that's interesting. And the last thing in her bill is to affirm self-custody rights as an individual financial freedom. Now, that is something that Bitcoin and crypto people believe in, self-custody. But when you frame it as a strategic asset, it puts it in context, because in 1930, the president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, chose to seize all gold held in the hands of Americans because he's trying to secure the value of gold by the government. So he made it illegal to own gold. So that's what that's referring to. So I think that Lummis' bill is really the most significant proposal that came out of all the politicians that were at the Bitcoin conference.
Thank you very much for listening to today's show, and I hope you enjoy it. Please give us comments. We would love to respond to any questions you give us. You have tax questions that we can apply to. We will try to address it in future shows. Please hit like, subscribe, follow. Thank you. Have a great day.